Breaking hearts, showing scars, leave me ripped apart. Cold to touch, all too much, but it's never enough. I'm searching inside, but there is nowhere to hide. Breaking hearts, showing scars, leave me ripped apart. Cold to touch, all too much, but it's never enough. I'm searching inside, but there is nowhere to hide. The burns fell in love and now I'm left with wanting. It's haunting. Poison lips, sinking ships, leaving me in the ocean, and I drowned with the tide. Giving in like a death by 1,000 concessions. Your confession. You never loved me for who I am, just what you wanted from me. Talking like strangers, wrapped in a anger. It's going down. We'll end up back as sooner or later. What comes around goes around. Breaking hearts, showing scars, leave me ripped apart. Cold to touch, all too much, but it's never enough. I'm searching inside, but there is nowhere to hide. The burns fell in love and now I'm left with wanting. It's haunting. The poison lips, sinking ships, leaving me in the ocean, and I drowned with the tide. Giving in like a death by 1,000 concessions. Your confession. You never loved me for who I am, just what you wanted from me. Talking like strangers, wrapped in a anger. It's going down. We'll end up back as sooner or later. What comes around goes around. Breaking hearts, showing scars, leave me ripped apart. Cold to touch, all too much, but it's never enough. I'm searching
Test, test.
inside, but there is nowhere to hide.
Test, test.
There's nowhere left to hide. There's nowhere left to hide. From my head to my toes, I can feel it in my bones. When I take it down, I know I'm never letting go. When I think I regret, now you want me to forget. Every night I'm making lovers meaningless sex. Now my heart is in the ball of your rain, your satisfaction. Wanna quit, fucking now you're looking for some action. Better run quick or just quit, just what you're after. Talking like strangers, wrapped in a anger. It's going down. We'll end up back as sooner or later. What comes around goes around. Breaking hearts, showing scars, leave me ripped apart. Cold to touch, all too much, but it's never enough. I'm searching inside, but there is nowhere to hide. Breaking hearts, showing scars, leave me ripped apart. Cold to touch, all too much, but it's never enough. I'm searching
woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. Of course her parents don't have a problem with me being black. She's past the wall. Get your fat ass off the couch, start lifting weights, and learn game. You're welcome.
So you got drunk at a frat party, then fucked the football team? You're not a rape victim, sweetheart.
You're a slut.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 450th edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. It is Wednesday, May 15th, 2019. We are multi-streaming live to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So however you're watching, wherever you are watching, I sincerely thank you for making the Sharpe reality a part of your daily routine. Great show in store for you guys today. As usual, we are packed. Steve the Dean is going to drop by a little bit later on. He's going to drop by at 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 Central. That's Texas time. To talk about why game trumps money, muscles, and looks. I'm also going to talk about a female boxer who thinks she can beat guys like Triple G, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, guys like that. No, I'm not making this guys up. I'm not making this guys up. This up, guys. She actually said this out loud, and I'm going to give you the proof. And finally, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to give you guys the real costs of being in a solid red pill relationship with a woman of quality that you built on your own. The costs that come with them. I'm going to talk about the costs for both men and women. But I'm going to start today's show off with something I discussed yesterday. Yesterday I discussed a few signs. One might be what I like to call a fake ass pro-black. And reason number one, the first sign, was that you believe O.J. Simpson did not kill his ex-wife. Take a look. Blacks. You sure about that? There are many, many signs that a black person might be a fake-ass pro-black. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you 5 of the many signs an African-American is what I like to call a fake-ass pro-black. And a lot of you guys might find yourselves in that fake-ass pro-black category. You might have a fake pro-black tendency or two. So here we go. This is going to get the conversation going. The number one sign, you say you believe OJ is innocent. You say you believe OJ didn't do it. So here's the question. Was OJ Simpson guilty? No, OJ Simpson was not guilty. Public record says that he was found innocent by a jury of his peers. But OJ did it, y'all. He did it plain and simple. And you niggas know it. There was a mountain of evidence against him. I don't need to go over all that. All of the evidence pointed to him and him alone. He is the only person who had both motive and opportunity. Then, of course, you get all these crazy theories. Well, he had an accomplice. There's no evidence of an accomplice. Both Ron and Nicole were weak. They're up against an ex-football player. Well, he couldn't have killed them both at the same time. Did it ever occur to you that he killed Nicole first when she came outside the house? Ron heard the commotion. He came out and saw what was up and tried to defend Nicole. It was the mob. Nicole had gambling debts. If it were really a mob hit, her body would not have been found, number one. Number two, it would have been much cleaner. Bullet to the head, right? Something clean like that. There wouldn't be blood everywhere. Nicole Brown Simpson was stabbed in the neck so many times, almost to the point of decapitation. That's not a mob hit. Mob hits are clean. His guilt was so obvious. And guys, listen, I'm 18 years old when this is happening. I wanted OJ to be innocent because I'm black, man. I'm not going to deny that. I wanted him to be innocent. Well, as I expected, I actually got an email. I got emails from several people. I got a bunch of emails from guys who, of course, they called me a sellout, a coon, abandon your position, blah, 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 blah. It was all emotion. But I did get one email from a follower of mine by the name of Outcast Drews. Now, Outcast Drews, and again, I want to make the distinction between a follower and a supporter, right? A follower is someone who just subscribes to my YouTube channel, okay? Listen, I mean, do I appreciate my YouTube subscribers? I guess I do, right? But I don't want guys to conflate supporter with follower. A follower can just follow for free. When you support TSR Live, you're donating via Super Chat. You're donating via the Streamlabs link, which I'm putting in right now. You are a patron. This isn't to disparage guys who are just followers and who have consumed my content essentially for free for the last 5 years. But I would caution you against calling yourself a supporter if you have never financially contributed to my show. Listen, I like all you guys. I do. And I don't say this to throw shade on guys who haven't supported. Listen, if you don't want to support the show, if you don't want to super chat, if you don't want to donate, if you don't want to become a patron, fine. I don't take it personally, right? Some guys really do believe that my content is worth paying for. Most guys don't. I have 5,500 subscribers on YouTube. I don't do the show for you guys. I don't do the show for my subscribers. I do the show for potential patrons. I do the show to change lives, right? Again, I appreciate you guys subscribing to my YouTube channel, but that's doing what's easy. And hey, check this out. I consume free content too. There's content out there that I listen to on the regular. I'm not really willing to pay for. I don't call myself supporters of those guys. I call myself a follower. Now, if that offends you, if you go, oh, I'm a supporter even though I haven't, fuck your feelings. I don't give a fuck about that. I appreciate my followers, but I greatly appreciate my supporters, my patrons, my super chatters, right? Listen, just because you have a wrench by your name doesn't mean that you're a supporter, right? A supporter is someone who contributes financially. You are supporting me. I don't need your verbal support. I don't need you in the chat blowing smoke up my ass. Donovan, you're the best. You're preaching. I know all these things, right? If you don't want to support, I don't take it personally. A lot of guys in the manosphere, the black manosphere in particular, one guy in particular, he takes it very personally when people don't support him financially. What this means is that people who follow you don't really think your content is good enough to pay for. That's all good. Listen, most people do not think my content is good enough to pay for. Okay, it is what it is. But don't conflate follower with supporter. Anyway, longtime supporter of mine, Outcast Drews. I don't think he's ever been a patron, but I'm fairly certain that he has super chatted. He wrote me an email yesterday. He said, Donovan, I agree with 90% of your content. Now, Outcast, I love you to death, but when a black man tells me that they agree with 90% of my content, that usually means that they agree with everything but my stance on black issues. I'm very fair. I'm very down the middle. I hold black people accountable. I don't think all white people are devils, and I don't think all black people are angels. I'm not saying that this is Outcast Drew's position, but when black people email me, black men email me, and they tell me, I agree with most of your content, the bits that they don't agree with are hot button issues. Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin, O.J. Simpson. Anyway, he says, you have helped me tremendously navigate through this daunting yet confusing world. I love hearing stuff like that, guys. That's why I do the show. He continues, overall, your channel has assisted me in understanding women. My disagreement with you consists of the OJ verdict. I'm attaching you a video with Judge Joe Brown's analysis of the case. At his core, he is a badass red pill guy having aspirations of pursuing a career in the legal field. Myself, I consider him as an idol. Rather than calling into the show, I'm simply offering you this information esoterically. Now, I'm going to play the video, and I'm going to break down the video here. And listen, Outcast Drews, I appreciate you submitting the video. But if anybody has any disagreements, right? I don't need, and the only reason why I'm going to play this video is because Outcast Drews, he's been a follower of mine for quite some time. I respect the guy. He's right down the middle. We don't always agree on everything, but at least he was man enough to say, hey, listen, I don't agree with all your content, but hey, you've helped me out. All right, no problem. But in the future, I don't need you to send me something that somebody else said as a rebuttal to my position, right? If you have something to say, guys, listen, shoot me an email. I will open up the phone lines. So, listen, Donovan, open up the phone lines tomorrow. I'm going to call you up and tell you why you are wrong about X, Y, and Z. I want to debate you on A, B, and C. No shade on Outcast Drews, right? But this is going to be a one-time thing. Listen, I want your content. I want you guys to send me pictures and videos and all this other kind of stuff. But if you disagree on something, don't send me stuff esoterically. Just because you think a very small people are going to understand it doesn't mean it's going to have a macro effect. If you disagree with something, call me up and tell me about it. We may agree to disagree, but at least you'll have my respect. Not that Outcast Drews doesn't have my respect, but for all of you listening and watching on the replay, this isn't something that I'm going to do all the time. I respect Outcast Drews a lot, and the video he sent me was actually pretty good. Did it change my position? No, but I'm going to break that down, okay? So he says, this may change your perspective. Then again, it may not. Overall, I will continue to support and watch your channel. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up. This is the Judge Joe Brown. This is actually a radio show, I think. I don't know. This is a YouTube video. I recorded it with my phone to stay above board on all the copyright stuff. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Here we go. I made the sound switch. And all right, here we go, guys.
Nancy Grace. She had just gotten into Hollywood and she's trying to make a name for herself.
Okay, so what he said, actually, you know what? Let me rewind this just so you guys can hear what was leading up to that. Give me a second here.
Nancy Grace.
My apologies here.
The whole OJ mess is a manufacture, is a construct of Nancy Grace.
So right off the bat, Judge Joe Brown says that this whole OJ fiasco was a manufactured construct of Nancy Grace. It's Nancy Grace is the reason why most people think OJ did it.
She had just gotten into Hollywood and she's trying to make a name for herself.
As everybody does.
So every day she came up with the fiction that she had said through the whole trial, and she had all of this scathing commentary about how bad the case was against OJ. Okay, see, the thing about Nancy Grace, not a lot of people like Nancy Grace, because Nancy Grace publicly convicts everyone before trial. I mean, she is as guilty of polluting the jury pool as anybody out there. But Nancy Grace didn't just publicly convict OJ. She has publicly convicted Scott Peterson. She has publicly convicted Casey Anthony. Okay? So for Joe Brown to say that, well, she went after OJ because he's black, that is intellectually dishonest. Nancy Grace is unbiased when it comes to the guilt of people. When someone is on trial, she goes after everyone. Black, white, Latino, Asian, does not matter. The reason why people still think OJ was not guilty, okay? But the reason why people think OJ did it has nothing to do with what Nancy Grace did or didn't say. Well, I was on the bench at that time, and I taped everything in my chambers, and I looked at it every day before I wrapped up. See, here's the thing. Judge Joe Brown, he is a judge. So right now, and again, I have immense respect for Judge Joe Brown, but he's trying to make his opinion, and he's like, I listened to the no, you weren't on the bench for this case, Judge Brown, right? He's talking about the legalities, and I'm actually going to tell you guys why the standard of proof in a court of criminal law does not necessarily mean it's the same standard of proof in the court of public opinion and common sense. Let's continue. And got on out of the office, so to speak. And she would talk about it's just inconceivable that the defense can recover from what happened today. Yeah, there's just one problem. They did. They took that. And I looked at it, and it couldn't get any better for the defense. And day after day, this kind of stuff. And then I found out later, when I talked to people that I knew that were involved with the L.A. court system, they said she wasn't even down there. Okay, so she wasn't even down there. What does that have to do with OJ's guilt or innocence? Nancy Grace was not the reason why O.J. Simpson got off. O.J. Simpson got off because he had the very best legal team money could buy. He had an obviously tainted jury pool trying to make up for the Rodney King incident just a couple years ago. Not only just for the Rodney King incident, they were trying to make up for all of the bullshit that the LAPD had put the LA County citizens through over the last, 30, 40 years. So for Judge Joe Brown, and he doesn't explicitly say it, but for Judge Joe Brown to try to elevate his opinion, well, I'm a judge and I watched this in my chamber and people I know that were involved in the case, Nancy Grace wasn't even there. That has absolutely nothing to do with whether OJ did it or not.
By the way, like I said, OJ got off. He didn't get off in spite of Nancy Grace. OJ Simpson got off because he had a great legal team and a tainted jury pool. Let's call that what it is. And Nancy Grace had nothing to do with anything. She publicly convicts everybody. Let's continue.
She'd show up after everything was over and ask what happened and then fictionalize what she put out to the public. So thanks to Nancy Grace, they think that OJ got away with something.
No. Again. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what keeps the black community angry. Nancy Grace was not the only white person who thought OJ was guilty. There were black people who thought he was guilty. There were white people who thought he was guilty. Yeah, blame the blonde white woman for specifically going after OJ because he was black. It's because of Nancy Grace. This is why people still think that OJ really killed his ex-wife. That is not only intellectually dishonest, that is irresponsible by Judge Joe Brown. People value this guy's opinion. They really do. And for him to say that Nancy Grace is the reason why people still think OJ really killed his ex-wife, that is irresponsible.
Most people who actually followed the whole trial or who were there said that they didn't even really have probable cause.
What? No probable cause? If there was no probable cause, there would not have been a trial in the first place. If there was no probable cause, then Johnny Cochran and Robert Shapiro, and by the way, Johnny Cochran wasn't on the case the whole time. First it was Bob Shapiro. Then Bob Shapiro, for what he said, listen, man, like we're outgunned here. The evidence is insurmountable. We need Johnny Cochran. So then Johnny Cochran came in and saved the day. But if there really were no probable cause, there would not have been any arrest. Johnny Cochran and the Dream Team would have moved for it. Not even Cochran. Bob Shapiro would have moved for an immediate dismissal based on lack of probable cause, but they didn't. And OJ was charged. Again, for Judge Joe Brown to say there was no probable cause, that's irresponsible. You're talking to the layman, and I'm no legal expert. But again, to the average black person, thinking with all of this confirmation bias, well, wait a minute, there was no probable cause. OJ shouldn't have been tried anyway. That's bullshit. Again, this is irresponsible, man.
Against OJ, but they had a strong case of probable cause against Furman as an accessory.
Oh. Okay, so they didn't have probable cause against OJ for the murder, but they had probable cause against Mark Furman as an accessory. An accessory for what? Right? An accessory for murder? Okay, well then who committed the murder? Right? I don't know. Maybe I'm misconstruing what he's saying here, but again, he thinks that OJ didn't do it. Let's blame Mark Furman. Dude, listen, Your Honor, OJ got off. You got the W. Mark Furman is in exile. He's a paralegal somewhere in Washington, D.C., making $16 an hour. Mark Furman isn't the reason why OJ killed Nicole. OJ killed Nicole because he got pissed.
And when the jury didn't stay out that half hour, it's basically because they didn't have anything to go on.
Oh, this is bullshit. You need to watch the ESPN 30 for 30 called OJ Made in America. They interview juror after juror after juror after juror. And dude, most of those jurors said, yeah, you know what? I was going to find him not guilty no matter what they said. There were a few jurors that admitted that they tried to be fair-minded, but they said, listen, man, all of these years we've been mistreated by the LAPD. Oh, no. He was getting off. One woman, dude, I think she was juror number 2 or juror number 9. I can't remember. One woman even said, listen, in my mind, he was innocent no matter what. This is a tainted jury pool. OJ didn't get off because there was no case. OJ got off because the jury pool. As a matter of fact, after the verdict was read and OJ was dismissed and all that good stuff, a juror stood to his feet and put his fist up in the name of Black Power. But Joe Brown didn't want to talk about that. He wants to say, well, there was no case. No case? OJ's finger was cut. His blood was all over the crime scene. He's the only one who had opportunity and motive. His whereabouts were unaccounted for during the murder. There were bloody footprints leading to his Bronco. They found blood in the Bronco.
It was like no case. The DNA evidence that Nancy Grace said was just overwhelming. Well, the experts testified, What we have here would not exclude 95,000 other people in L.A. County.
See, again, that is, this is disingenuous, man. Number one, the DNA technology was not nearly as accurate as it is today, okay? Number two, they found Nicole and Ron's blood on OJ's shoes, which we found out that he lied about. They actually saw him wearing the same shoes on a previous broadcast. They found it in the Bronco. DNA has nothing to do with this. If OJ didn't kill Nicole and Ron, then how did the blood get in the Bronco? DNA's got nothing. What is he going to tell me the DNA wasn't really Ron and Nicole's?
And it was someone who would be of Northeast Mediterranean extraction or perhaps from Sicily.
Really? So why didn't we pick up Northeast Mediterranean people as suspects or somebody from Sicily? Dude, this to me, this is all right. What he's doing right now is he is using speculation and passing it off as fact. This is irresponsible. This is disingenuous.
Jay could conceivably be in here, but this is
conceivably, right? There's another one of those nebulous words.
Not anywhere near limiting this OJ. There was, why did we have 10 cc's of missing serological evidence? That's blood.
Good question.
Well, what are you doing, sir, taking the sample back to the scene of the crime and sprinkling all over the area?
Yep. Hey, listen, score one for Judge Joe Brown there. Got to give him that one.
That came out on tape. Or the bloody socks at the foot of the bed. They had an earlier tape, no bloody socks. While that tape was being shot with audio, you can hear the people who were doing it asking Furman what he's doing in the bedroom.
Let's score another one for Judge Joe Brown.
And then 45 minutes later, after they've gone and their tape shows no bloody socks, la-di-da, bloody socks at the foot of the bed, you've heard Furman identified as being in.
Bingo.
If it does not fit, you must acquit.
Uh-oh. This is, again, this is where he loses me. Listen.
I know the people that did the glove.
A lot of people knew the people that did the gloves, Judge Brown. A lot of people knew that. Listen, again, Judge Joe Brown says, well, because I knew the people that did the gloves, and I think OJ didn't do it. Well, that must mean OJ didn't do it.
OJ took a size 2XL. The glove was a size large. Furman had a large. OJ couldn't fit in. Furman's the one found the glove under several feet of dead leaves in the back of a tote.
Okay, where Furman found the glove, again, score one there for Judge Joe Brown. But let's go back to the if it doesn't fit, you must acquit. Here's what Judge Joe Brown isn't telling you. O.J. Simpson had severe arthritis in his hands. When he didn't take his meds, his hands were swollen. It was actually suggested to him by his agent and his agent was the one who stole all his stuff later on and took it to Vegas, by the way, to help set him up. But his agent told him, hey, listen, when your hands get swollen, right, if they do the gloves, your hands aren't going to fit. Plus, by the time they brought the glove into the courtroom, the blood had dried up. And when the blood dried up, it shrank the glove. So you have a shrunken glove on top of OJ's swollen hands. And when the gloves, and here's another thing, when the gloves didn't fit, look at OJ's face. Surprise and relief. If he knew he didn't do it, it wouldn't have been a big deal to him. Yeah, I'll try on the gloves. Let's do it.
Dark yard. You know, so you get all this building up, and LAPD had a bad reputation, and something the media did not cover was four of the primary detectives wind up going to jail for planting evidence in other cases, and California had to let, let's see, I think it was 120 people out of the penitentiary because of the falsified evidence these same detectives had introduced or compiled against them. So it's a big thing, and it was like a black man killing white woman, how dare he? It was a farce. But then this thing that he got put in jail for.
Okay, so the LAPD had a bad reputation. He says the media didn't discuss it. It was all the media could discuss. You want to know who else discussed it? Was Johnny fucking Cochran. Cochran's entire case was built atop it, and he won.
The parole hearing was about. is one of the embarrassments to the entirety of American criminal law. The law is not supposed to be vindictive, and that's exactly what you got.
Now, that I 100% agree with. O.J. Simpson should not have served 1 minute in jail for that bullshit case against him in Vegas. What happened to O.J. in Vegas was a clear retaliation, and the judge who issued that 33 years, which by the way, was the exact same amount in millions that the Goldman family won in the civil case, she sentenced him to 33 years. O.J. shouldn't have served 1 minute in jail for that. That was 100% bullshit. Okay, so O.J. got away with murder. Take the L, justice system. You can't get them all. It is better to let a guilty man go free than to convict the innocent. But the Vegas case was their chance to get back at O.J., and they got him. That was 100% wrong, dude. I said it the day they put that on TV. 100%. Those are two separate cases. Okay, O.J. got away with murder. He should not have gone to jail for that other crime. But guys, O.J. did it, man. You know it. Everybody knows it, man. Everybody knows it. Listen. And here's the thing, Judge Joe Brown, what Judge Joe Brown does is he created what's called reasonable doubt. This is exactly how Johnny Cochran won the case. All of those things that Judge Joe Brown talked about, those are all legit. Most of that is admissible in a court of law. That creates reasonable doubt. And if you cannot find him guilty beyond all reasonable doubt, you have to acquit him. You have to acquit him. Right? The prosecution did not meet that standard of proof. The defense met the standard of proof. Right? Guys, listen, man. Black people want OJ to not have done it. They want to think that he could not have done this egregious thing. He did it. Listen, black people, take the W. Take the W. He got off, man. He got off. But if you want to believe that he didn't kill her, if you really want to pretend that you don't believe her, I can't help you from here. This is all I'm saying about it for forever. Pretending OJ didn't do it, this is flawed thinking. This is flawed thinking. I don't want you to send me videos and conspiracy theories and this and that. That's fine. I don't need that stuff. All that stuff does is create reasonable doubt. This is what Johnny Cochran did, and this is why OJ got off. So why are we beating a dead horse? It doesn't matter whether or not he did it. To you, it shouldn't matter whether or not he did it. He got off. The standard of proof in a court of law is not, and here's the distinction I want to make as I take a swig of water here. The standard of proof in a court of law is not the same as the standard of proof when it comes to common sense. Thank God for that, because a lot of innocent people would probably be locked up. The standard of proof in a court of law is beyond all reasonable doubt. Again, this is to keep innocent men from getting convicted. The prosecution failed to meet that standard. The defense did, and they won. But in the court of common sense, he did it. 99.9% of people who say they believe OJ didn't do it are black. Guys, that's racial bias. And I was the same way. I wanted OJ to not be guilty. To me, it didn't matter whether or not I never once asked myself, well, okay, so I want OJ to be not guilty. Did he really do it? If you still say that OJ was not guilty, you listen, you got some growing up to do. Right? Now, just because you say you think OJ is guilty, that doesn't mean you're a fake ass pro-black. I don't believe for 1 second this outcast Drews is a fake ass pro-black. The guy is reasonable, he's measured, blah, 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 blah. But that's where it starts, guys. All of this video evidence and all this other kind of stuff you guys are sending me, this is reasonable doubt. He got off. But there's no way you're going to convince me that you believed he didn't do it. I was the same way, guys, until I woke up and I started thinking rationally and reasonably and applied the standard of common fucking sense. All of your arguments, all of your emails and videos, they're all valid in a court of law. I understand why you truly want him to be innocent. But consider this. 99.9% of 9/11 truthers are Democrats who hated Bush. Guess what? There's going to be a slant, right? We all know Casey Anthony did it, and there was far less evidence against her. So why can't we acknowledge that OJ did it? If OJ didn't do it, why did he run? Innocent men don't run, especially something of this magnitude. Again, guys, listen, man. I'm not going to say that you're a flawed individual for telling me you think OJ didn't do it. Listen, I understand where you're coming from. You want so badly to believe OJ didn't do it, but you wouldn't bet your life on it. You wouldn't bet the life of a family member. You would not bet on it. And if you say you would, you're lying. I'd bet my life on it. You guys can say the same thing. You wouldn't. If it were really life and death, you wouldn't do it. Because you don't really believe OJ didn't do it. I appreciate the video, man. Outcast Drews, I appreciate it. But you and I both know he got away with murder. Take the W, guys, and quit pretending OJ is a saint who would never hurt or kill anybody. Because he clearly did both. He may have been found not guilty in a court of law, but he was not innocent. He absolutely killed his ex-wife, and you guys know it. I'm not addressing this anymore. When we come back, I'm going to talk about a 25-year-old student who married her 71-year-old professor. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back. This mistake of making her your girl without her having earned it, and you run into one of her old friends at the bowling alley or the grocery store, and you find out indirectly that he was fucking her the same time you were, don't start tripping like you didn't know, like you were surprised. Girls are always juggling cocks, guys. They're always juggling dicks. Always. Anyway, the answer to the question, how do I know I was not a plan B, answers itself. Because if you have to ask, the answer is that you weren't her first choice. You were her plan B. You just happened to be the one available, and she didn't want to be alone. That's how this goes. Now look. Don't take this personal, right? Listen, I don't make the rules. But guys, you are not special. Shit, I'm not special. There's nothing that I have that Devin can't get from somewhere else. Now, granted, I happen to have a combination of many traits that make men attractive to women. I have good looks, semi-good looks. I'm confident. You know, I'm extremely ambitious. I'm self-employed. I'm ruthless. I put her feet to the fire. I call her out on her bullshit, etc. A lot of guys out here with one or two of these streets, but not many of them walking around here with all of them in one person. And that's one of the many reasons why my girl is loyal to me. But even still, guys, there's nothing special or unique about me. Dude, my next door neighbor. I might live next door. I might live next door to a Donovan Sharpe. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so I fuck more girls than the average man, but that doesn't make me God's gift to women. What separates me from other men, okay, what separates me from most men is the other reason why my woman is loyal to me, and that is the application of red pill awareness. Notice I said application of red pill awareness. A lot of guys have red pill awareness, but most of them don't apply it. Most of them don't have the balls to demand a woman's best. Most men don't have the intestinal fortitude to not be afraid of a female's emotional shenanigan. Not being afraid of a woman's tantrum. That's what separates us from 95% of other men out there, guys. But you, the guy who's asking, well, how do I know I wasn't her plan B? How do I know I was her first choice? You already know you weren't. And if you try to fool yourself into thinking that you were, okay, you know you weren't. You were simply the last man standing who was dumb enough to make her your main chick even after you found out she was fucking 4 dudes. Right? Welcome back to the show. Good to have you guys back on a Wednesday. Follow, add, and like me on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Donovan Sharpe. I am back on Instagram at Donovan Sharpe1. That's Donovan Sharpe and the number 1, or you can just type in Donovan Sharpe and it'll come up. I don't really do much posting on social media anymore. I'll do it every once in a while. I'll go on like a little bit of a streak, right, where I'll post a few things in a few days, but I turned off all of my notifications on social media. And honestly, it's the best thing I've ever done. I'll say my piece, but I don't go back and forth with dudes for like hours on end about shit that I know I'm not going to convince them about. I actually had a consultation with a longtime supporter of mine, and he's like, Donovan, like, how do I handle the debate? Like, I'm debating people about the red pill and female nature and politics. I had to say to him, look, dude, that's a waste of time. You're not going to change their mind, and they're damn sure not going to change yours. People don't have their minds changed after a debate. It doesn't work that way. Right? Like, if you are, I've never heard someone say or someone admit out, like, you know what? I took position A, but after that debate with person C, I now see it person B's way. No, even if you convince the person that you are right or that your position is the right position, they're not going to admit it to you. At least not out loud. So yeah, this is just, and listen, again, I'm emotionally immature. I'm not going to sit here and front like I'm not. But I told him the same thing I had to tell myself, dude, don't argue with these guys. Don't argue with these niggas, man. All they want to do is monopolize your time. That's one of the main reasons I'm not really on social media anymore. Too many people are trying to get at me. Too many people are trying to monopolize my time. Too many people are trying to get free advice. Listen, if you want free advice, call into the show, man. Call into the show. Shoot me an email. Hey, Donovan, open up the phone lines tomorrow. I'm going to get another computer system and another screen, and I'm going to hook it up to my sound mixer so that I can start taking phone calls again. The reason I haven't taken phone calls lately is because it slows down OBS. I get the lip syncing. I can do it when I'm on Google Hangouts, right? It works perfectly fine on Google Hangouts, but when I'm running OBS, there's a lot of bells and whistles and scenes and videos and audio clips and all that stuff. Having Blog Talk Radio running in the background, it drastically slows down OBS. And I'm not going to sacrifice the quality of my show to give people unimpeded access to me. So here within the next couple of weeks, I'm going to buy, I don't know, like maybe a little Windows Mini tower, whatever, hook it up to, do another monitor, hook it up, and we'll do it that way. So I'm going to put this article up on the screen. And this was actually submitted by a patron of mine. And dude, forgive me. I have forgotten who this was submitted by as I try to buy time to go in here and see. I'm going to give you a shout out while I'm looking for this. But the title is University Graduate 25 reveals that she is engaged, that she is to marry former professor who is 71 after 7 months of dating. I don't like all the ads being all up there, right? So I'm just going to read this to you. And what this proves, guys, is that game really and truly does trump all. Like, it really, really, really does. So let me read this to you. So it says, quote, a university graduate, 25, has revealed that she is to marry her former professor, 71, after 7 months of dating. Cameron Platt, who recently graduated with a master's degree from Oxford University, announced that she is engaged to Lee Clark Mitchell, who is a professor in English. The couple, who have a 46-year age gap, met when Cameron took one of Lee's classes as an undergraduate at Princeton University in the United States 5 years ago. In a lengthy Facebook post, she opened up about her romance with the lecturer who will be 72 in June. So now I'm going to pull up that Facebook post here. Give me a second. Oh, wait a minute. All right. So I'm going to read this Facebook post to you guys, and I'm going to break this down here. So it says, quote, this is an announcement that will come as a surprise to many, given how private I've been about my relationship for the past year. But I'm engaged, and much more to the point, I'm in love. For those of you who haven't been along for the ride so far, now she starts it. She says, I met Lee Mitchell over 5 years ago in the fall of 2013. It was my sophomore year at Princeton, and I was taking his lecture course on Henry James and William Faulkner. Lee was little more than a stranger to me. This is really small print, and I'm 41, so please bear with me as I struggle to get through this with these old eyes. She said, Lee was little more than a stranger to me then, but he captivated me with his brilliance, sensitivity, and passion. Guys, I say this all the time. A man who is an A+ at one thing will fuck younger, hotter women than a man who's a B- at everything. Now, we look at this girl, she's not that hot. You want to know something? She's a better looking 25-year-old than most men of value are fucking. The guy is 71 years old. I would say just based on his age, she's, listen, to Lee, she's probably a 10. Now, I'd probably give her a 6.5, maybe a 7. She's got long hair. She's not fat. She doesn't have any tattoos, so I'd give her a 6.5, 7. But listen, I'm not gonna hate on Lee. Well, he could have done better. Bruh, he's 71. He's fucking, dude, if he's fucking a girl who looks like this girl, listen, bro, I ain't mad at you. But the point is, guys, this guy's old. His dick probably doesn't even work, but he had status, and he made her feel something, right? She said that he was brilliant and had passion. Guys, this guy, Lee, what's his name? Lee, what's his face? What the hell is this? This guy, Lee Clark Mitchell, okay? He's a lot of things. Boring isn't one of them. This girl was 25 years old, dude. She could be on the carousel right now. She probably was. But he made her feel something. He made her feel things. He has changed the way she thinks about everything. That is powerful. Just let me continue here. Brilliant sensitivity and passion, and his lectures changed forever the way I think. Guys, that is powerful, man. This man has changed. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not hard to change the way a 25-year-old thinks, right? But this guy did it. This guy's 71 years old. Because of his passion and brilliance, he changed the way this woman thinks. These are emotions. And when I say you have to appeal to a woman's emotions, this does not mean to be emotional. No, appeal to her emotions. Be an experience. Be exciting. Be brilliant. Be passionate. This doesn't mean cry to her about your mommy issues. This doesn't mean cry to her about how your dad was never around. No. Make her feel things by being masculine and unapologetic. By the time of my graduation, she continues, he had become a dear and devoted mentor to me. Then I was off to Oxford to begin a new chapter, but I was surprised to find out how much I still thought of Lee. And soon I understood that I felt something I'd not fully acknowledged before. Give me a second here. Acknowledged before. At the end of my 2 years in Oxford, after much reflection and with encouragement from my wonderful friends, I resolved to shoot my shot. She resolved to shoot her shot at a 70-year-old guy, 71-year-old. And so this September, I asked him out. Somewhat incredulous and altogether careful, Lee spent most of our first date trying to figure out whether it was, in fact, a date. We rambled through the Met. That's probably a typo. Like shy teens, eager but tentative, unsure of how to test our boundaries with each other. At last, to our amazement, we broke through, which means they fucked, right? Something then sprouted from oh God, this is so fucking small. I'm gonna have to make this bigger, guys. Hang on a second. Jesus Christ. Ooh. I gotta make this bigger. My eyes are old. Bear with me. There we go. There we are. Excellent. Okay. Something sprouted from a seed that neither of us had known that we planted, and we realized that the force of feeling that we'd had for each other, and called by other names, admiration, wonder, devotion, and gratitude, held within it the hope of potential for love. Now, this is funny. The admiration, the wonder, and the devotion and gratitude, those were her feelings. Those were not his feelings. Lee's feelings was that he was fucking a 25-year-old. Listen, I'm fucking a 25-year-old. Those are his feelings, right? He doesn't have wonder or devotion or admiration. She's 25. This guy's been around for almost 3/4 of a century. He's done it all. He's seen it all. She's nothing new to him. She is the youngest, hottest girl that was available to him at the ripe old age of 72 years young. There's no wonder or admiration. Whatever. He tells her whatever he has to keep her opening her legs. Now, this isn't to say that he doesn't like her. This isn't to say that he doesn't enjoy her company. Of course he does, right? Of course he enjoys her company. She's a 25-year-old who fucks him, right? But there's no admiration or wonder. She would like to think that, but dude, this guy's seen it all and done it all. So it continues. It says, each of us have had concerns about coming together from such different stages of life. He is old and you're young. To which we gave serious thought over many conversations. But eventually it became impossible to deny how fully we feel meant for each other. Wow. How fully we feel meant for each other, and neither of us has looked back since. Now here we are, more enthralled than ever, wanting no life other than the one we make together. Last week, we made it official. Guys, this proves that game trumps all. And let me, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to see if Steve the Dean is, oh, wait a minute. Hang on, guys. I'm going to see if Steve the Dean is available. Hold on. There he is. All right. So Steve the Dean is now joining me. Hang on, guys. I know that, there we are. I was actually supposed to do this after. There he is, my man, Steve the Dean. So Steve, just to catch you up on what I've been talking about here, and of course, Steve the Dean, themanmindset.com. You guys can follow him on Twitter at themanmindset. Look for Steve Williams on Facebook if you guys want to follow him. The thing here, Steve, is I'm talking about a 25-year-old woman who is engaged to her former 71-year-old professor. Now, I want you to tell these guys, because you got a lot of guys, Steve, that like to say, well, all you need is money and muscles and looks, and you can get any girl you want. No, that's not the case. What you have to be is a fucking man. This 71-year-old professor managed to get a 25-year-old woman to fall in love with him. Talk about why that's important and why men need to internalize this.
Well, thank you for having me on. The reason why they need to internalize all this is because your clothes and your car and your job is not going to take the place of your personality. Think about that older guy, as he had a mouthpiece and he showed that woman the benefits of being with him. A lot of guys don't utilize the benefits. What they do is they stand on things to hide behind.
Right.
And this is why that guy is winning, because he's not hiding behind anything. He's being transparent and impactful. He's saying, this is what you're going to be when you're with me. It doesn't matter how old I am, just as long as you know what, as long as you respect me as a man, I'm going to take care of you in ways that you've never been taken care of before. And last thing I want to say is, when you look at a lot of young women today, they are thirsting for a man. They want someone to lead them and guide them and tell them how to be and what to do, and they're not getting that nowadays. So either they're going up to older guys, or they're going down to younger kids where they can shape and form them the way they want, Donovan.
Wow. Dude, clearly she cannot shape and mold the 71-year-old who is right. The guy was in his masculine frame, and that's what I'm going to read this to you. This is going to be a little bit repetitive for my viewers, but I want to get your take on this. I'm going to read you a passage from this Facebook post. She said, Lee, the professor, she said, Lee was little more than a stranger to me then, but he captivated me with his brilliance, sensitivity, passion, and his lectures changed forever the way I think. Steve, she was in his frame, right? It didn't matter, and it's funny. I can promise you the only time this woman thought about the age difference was when she started to become sexually attractive to him, right? But I want you to tell my audience why the words brilliance, sensitivity, and passion, why those are important.
Well, women, and it's always through the dawn time, women want to feel like they're wanted. And I'm not saying like in a cupcake way.
Sure.
It's the reason why they read romance novels, because they want somebody that will put them in that romance book. You know, if you think about romance novels, it's that guy that comes into town, butts heads with that woman who has a lonely wife, lonely relationship, and she just can't get her way. But even in not getting her way, there's a sexual attraction. But it's the man that can be seductive, romantic, sensual, and sexual, but also turn it down to be freaky, dirty, and nasty and naughty. And a lot of guys aren't doing this today, because a lot of guys, you know, we're in like this hip-hop age, Donovan, where there's not they don't know music from the 70s and 80s where it was those words that got the panties sliding down. It's the words and the text phrases, well, texting now, that you can talk a woman out of her panties. These guys don't know that because they were never taught that, but it goes back to these women. They're hungry for that because it's like, I heard about these things, but this is what I want. I want a man that could be a man when it's time to be a man, but he's also the kind of man that can show me different elements of emotions, sexual emotions, sir.
Yeah, listen, you said emotions, and there are a lot of PUAs who say you have to appeal to a girl's emotions. You have to make her feel something. A lot of guys mistakenly take that as becoming emotional with her, being vulnerable to her, telling her about your hopes and dreams, and just being like this open book. But that's not what happened here. This guy didn't reveal his innermost childhood secrets. This guy had a way of thinking about life. He never wavered. He was already a man when she met him, and he brought her into the frame. Tell me tell my audience what they're doing wrong when they hear guys say that, hey, you have to appeal to her emotions, you have to make her feel something.
Well, what they're doing wrong is they don't know how to shift down and really grasp the moment of sex or sexuality. The problem is, where most guys don't know, is when you meet a woman for the first time and you begin to talk, that is you're having sex. You're fucking at that point. The sex begins when you first begin to talk. And the problem is, the way you are inside the bedroom is the same way she's gonna perceive you in the bedroom.
Right.
Men like us, we have confidence, we're dominant, we're assertive, we're transparent, we're clear and concise, and we're impactful. So she will see that as the same kind of guy that can push her ass over the table and fuck the shit out of her, but also the same guy that can shift down and turn out the lights, take a hot shower, and make her eat her pussy out in the shower, things like that, making her feel sexy. So most guys can't do that because most guys are stuck in what I call Miss Crabtree's fifth grade class of birds and bees. This is a penis, this is a vagina. There's another level to this that they don't know about. So what happens is, these guys unfortunately watch porn and they think porn is reality.
Yes.
So then they are under this assumption that if I just approach her, she's going to take her clothes off, the music's going to play, and I'm going to get my dick sucked. No, in the real world, it doesn't work like that. The real world is, you've got to show her why she should be sucking your dick, right, instead of you bartering and begging to do so, sir.
One last statement I'm going to get. I'm going to get your take on. And again, I want to get your take on this. So it says, quote, "Something then sprouted from a seed that neither of us had known that we'd planted. And we realized that the force of feeling that we'd long had for each other and called by other names, admiration, wonder, devotion, gratitude, held within it the hope and the potential for love." It's my assertion, Steve, that this man does not have admiration and wonder and gratitude. He might be devoted to her because, dude, she's the youngest, hottest, tightest girl he's probably fucked in 3 decades, but he doesn't feel admiration or wonder or gratitude. She's 25 years old. She doesn't know anything. She's a young, hot female who's sucking his dick. But those are the feelings she has for him. She has that admiration for him. She has that wonder. She has that devotion. She has that gratitude. As we round third and head for home here, tell my audience the main difference between a man's emotions for a woman and a woman's emotions for a man.
Well, a man's emotions for a woman is what she can do for him.
Right. What
she brings to the table for him. But what y'all have to understand is, what she's feeling is what they all feel for men. And that's the thing that you got to understand while y'all doing this. It is not just the single woman. Right. And this is why I always tell Donovan, guys to understand what manhood is, because I tell guys, you're going to lose a lot of friends that you grew up with because their wives, their girlfriends, their live-ins are going to start to be intrigued by who you are.
Right.
And it's the curiosity of, I have a boring ass man, but who is this guy that I'm talking to that is arrogant, is cocky, is conceited, does his own thing, but they're drawn into that because, like you said, she has all these feelings, and she should have these feelings because a man brings out things in a woman that she never realized that she had, because most women, Donovan, don't have anybody to do that.
Right.
So when you meet a man for the first time, we unlock something in them that has always been bottled up, because most guys today are judgmental. Why are you doing that? That's disgusting. Why would you suck my dick under the table? And why would you want to jerk me off? Why would you, just shaming a woman for wanting to show sexual pleasure? But for us and men like that, we're open book. Be free of who you are, and let me draw out more things in you. And that's where the connection is. And that's why they feel that way for guys like us. And we're not doing anything at all. Remember, I'm all about what she's bringing to my kingdom and if she's wasting my time. And that's it.
There you go.
But for her, it's yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. What I was going to say is that she and guys have to understand, Steve, the value that you bring to a woman is not the same value that she brings to you. A man's love is very different from a woman's love. Both brands of love are conditional, Steve, but they're not the same.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But see, that's what I'm saying. See, most guys go for love. I don't want her love. I want her respect. So I want the respect relationship. Right. I want the respect relationship. But through the respect relationship, that shows me if she's worth my time and my attention, and then my feelings and my affection. But you've got to slay the Minotaur and bring that motherfucker to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro to even get close to that.
Yeah.
So she's got to work for me. She's got to prove her value and her worth to me, not every week, but every goddamn day, every minute, every hour, every second, because she always is going to realize with guys like me and you, Donovan, that she can always be replaced by another woman. So I'm not on the eggshells. She's on eggshells, trying to keep my time and my attention.
Hell yeah. I got one. Listen, Steve, you're every time I think I'm going to end it, you always say something that gets my attention, and I need your opinion on this. By the way, this was submitted by Jimmy, one of my patrons. His name is Jimmy, and the caption he put for this particular post was hypergamy. Right, so he wants to know if this 25-year-old girl going after this 71-year-old college professor is hypergamy. Now, Steve, the definition of and Steve doesn't get all into the red pill vernacular. Steve just tells it what it is. He doesn't call it game. He says it's just talking that yak. Get her panties wet. Steve is not, he doesn't talk about all the fancy shit like a lot of these wannabe red pill guys are. So, Steve, hypergamy is just basically women going after the highest value men to them. But when and again, no shade on Jimmy, and I appreciate this is solid gold. But a lot of guys tend to they misunderstand the concept of hypergamy. The doctrine of hypergamy states that a woman will consolidate on the highest value male available to her, right? And so and so Jimmy is half right, and I don't know, I wish he had put a little more context to it, but a lot of guys say, well, she cheated on me because of hypergamy. No, well, yes, she did cheat on you because of hypergamy, but she also cheated on you because you got fat, you lost your job, and you're unmotivated, right? This girl is 25 years old. She's not a bad looking girl. She's probably 6.5, 7. Dude, she probably was a slut before she met this guy. This girl has options. Long, beautiful hair. She didn't have any tattoos, but she chose to be with this 71-year-old guy. This 71-year-old guy, in her mind, is the highest value male available to her. So I'll get you out of here from this. What are your thoughts on people thinking, okay, well, she got with the 71-year-old guy because of hypergamy?
See, the problem is, as young men trying to learn how to be men, we've got to stop pointing the finger at everything and making excuses. Here's the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is she didn't find value in him because he was an older guy. She found value in him because he was doing the things that most of you guys can't do. You can't make her smile. You can't make her blush. You can't make her laugh. You can't make her moan. You can't make her open herself up. Right, feel things where she's like, oh my God, this guy is so different. He's not even trying to do anything, but in talking to him, spending time with him, he's bringing things out of me that nobody else can. And that's what we're trying to teach guys. Don't sit around and point the finger and make it something. Look to yourself and ask yourself, what is it I'm not doing? What do I need to learn to make her? Because he can do all this on the phone or through a text message.
Yes,
he doesn't have to be with her, Donovan. That's the thing about being a man. I can make you smile, laugh, moan, think, giggle, and play with yourself through my fingertips. And that gives me more value than most men out there, because most men out there have never been taught that, Donovan.
Unbelievable. Listen, Steve the Dean, as usual, man. Listen, thanks for making time for us. I know you're a busy guy. I wanted to get you in here for this session because I really, really wanted to get your point of view. But listen, keep doing what you're doing. Keep up the hustle, and we will talk day after tomorrow on the Red Line.
Much love, Donovan. Thank you, brother.
All right, man. Steve the Dean Williams in the house, dropping that knowledge as usual. Dude, I love that guy, man. I really do, dude. Steve and I, man, I love the way he breaks things down, man. The guy really knows what the hell he's talking about. Guys, I cannot tell you how important it is to get on my email list. At some point, I will be deplatformed. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Guys who do what I do in the way that I do it are always in the crosshairs, and eventually my channel is going to get deleted. You can count on that. To make sure that you always have access to my content, you need to get on my email list so that when the inevitable happens, you'll know where to find me, when to find me, and how to access my content. Go to donovansharpe.com/newsletter. That's donovansharpe.com/newsletter. I'm putting it in the chat right now. Literally takes less than 2 seconds to sign up for my email list. On the other side of the break, I'm going to talk about a female boxer who thinks that she can beat Triple G. You got to see this to believe it, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Why you should never tell a woman to put herself in your shoes. And I comment from a chick, and she said, and I quote, "At 8 minutes and 41 seconds, when you say that your girl, when you say that if your girl is talking to her ex, tell her to stop or she's gone. Isn't this an ultimatum? I absolutely agree that she needs to not be talking to any exes, but isn't the ultimatum a sign of weakness? I think you guys have talked about that on the Red Man group, if I'm remembering correctly, or if I'm remembering right, as she says. Now, first off, I'll go ahead and point out that this isn't an honest question. Okay, she's not asking me if ultimatums are a sign of weakness because she wants an answer from me. No, she asked the question to make the statements that ultimatums are a sign of weakness, and that if I endorse them, then I, of course, Donovan Sharpe, am weak. This is what she wanted to say. She wanted to point out that the sign of weakness is what she believes is an inconsistency in our message. So I'll answer her first loaded question, and the answer is that ultimatums are indeed a sign of weakness when coming from a position of weakness. If your value is low, okay, if you don't handle her like she needs to be handled, when you are in her frame and she is not in yours, and she is texting her higher value ex-boyfriend, then yes, telling her to stop texting her ex or she's gone is indeed a sign of weakness. But not all ultimatums are created equal, gentlemen. Not even close, and I'll get to that a little bit later on in the show. Now, to answer her second assertion, which is that because we all agreed on the Red Man group that ultimatums are a sign of weakness, we must all indirectly agree that there is no gray area or context or room to disagree or add nuance or acknowledge that different circumstances require different reactions. Her comment was merely what we call concerned trolling. She doesn't give a shit about the answer, guys. She literally wanted to say, hey, Donovan, you are weak and a hypocrite. And I disrespectfully disagree, and I say to this woman, stay in your lane and buy your ticket to the 22 convention in 2020 as soon as they become available, so you can learn to stay the fuck out of conversations when men are talking. But her comment did make me think about ultimatums. So many women like to declare proudly, well, I don't respond well to ultimatums, or if he gives me an ultimatum, I shut down. Really? So when your boss tells you that if you are late again, you're fired, you just quit on the spot because you don't respond to ultimatums that well? When you're a kid and your mom told you to clean up your room and you were grounded, did you shut down? But Donovan, those situations are different. Yes, they are. And the difference is respect. You respect your boss's power to end your employment and to stop your paychecks. You respected your mother's authority to ground you. So when a woman says she doesn't respond well to ultimatums, what she is really saying is that she doesn't respond well to ultimatums from men she does not respect. Think about it. I'll give you a situation. If a girl dated a guy who is a 10 in looks, had a 10-inch dick worth 10 figures, keeps her in line, and makes her work for his attention and affection and resources, and he told her, stop going out with your friends at night or we're done, do you think she'd shut down? Do you think she'd leave and tell her friends that she left because he gave her an ultimatum and she doesn't respond well to ultimatums? Well, of course she wouldn't. Why? Because she respects him. He's a high-value guy who knows his worth and demands her best. She loves and respects him. So her answer isn't, OMG, you gave me an ultimatum, I'm totally shutting down. No, her answer is, you got it, babe. No more girls' nights out. Now, of course, that mythical man doesn't exist, but you guys get the idea. And that idea is that a high-value male that a woman respects can lay down ultimatums left and right, and she will happily comply with each and every one of them if she wants him to keep her around. This also relates to sexual harassment in the workplace. Women don't want sexual attention from unattractive male coworkers. No, they want sexual attention from men that they are aroused by. Women don't want ultimatums from unattractive men they do not respect. Let's take it in another direction. Women always talk about the fact that they don't want to be objectified, and that's simply not true. No, they don't want to be objectified by unattractive men. They want to be objectified by men that make their pussies wet. And proof of this is on the internet every day with the pictures they post on social media and Instagram. In the same vein, and I will say it again, women don't like ultimatums from men that they're not aroused by, men they do not respect. Welcome back to the 450th edition of TSR Live. Good to have you guys in on a Wednesday. Big shout out to Steve the Dean Williams for coming on and dropping that knowledge. I always love having him on my show. The guy is as knowledgeable as they come. Steve the Dean isn't with the red pill vernacular. You know, he doesn't talk about hypergamy and branch swinging and, the wall and all this other red pill vernacular. Steve is straight up. Steve is a straight up guy. He gives you the meat and potatoes. It doesn't give you the broccoli. It doesn't give you all those useless side dishes. Steve the Dean gives you the wings and the ranch sauce. He doesn't give you the celery on the side. That's the best way. That's the best way to describe Steve the Dean. Later on today, I'm going to be releasing exclusive Patreon content. At 5 o'clock Eastern, I will be releasing part 3 of Donovan's Immutable Slut Rules. At 4 o'clock Eastern, I'm going to reach into the archive from a question for Ask Donovan. Do testosterone pills really work? So get on over to patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe to become a patron and get your hands on this exclusive content. Guys, it's $5 a month, right? There are other tiers, but for $5 a month, you get a shitload of exclusive content. That's less than 17 cents a day. I know your broke asses can afford that. Patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. So now I'm going to talk about a fighter by the name of Clarissa Shields, who recently had an interview with someone, I think from TMZ Sports. I don't know who was asking her the questions, but this woman, it is this woman's assertion. Actually, hold on. I need to go to another screen here.
I was trying to say I shouldn't deal with that shit. The real reason why is because you want that bitch, but you ain't never.
There we go. Steve came on a little bit early, so I had to. Okay, very good. Very good. Sorry, listen, my bad for the people who are listening on the replay. Don't worry about that. Anyway, so she had an interview with someone from TMZ Sports. And I'm going to break this. Listen, I can't tell you what she says. You're just going to have to see it for yourself. So here she is, Clarissa Shields, talking about the prospect of fighting against men. Here we go.
Do you think there are professional men out there that you could beat in a boxing match?
Absolutely.
Really?
I'm a
Okay, right off the bat, look at her face. She didn't believe that. She does not really believe that she can beat male fighters, right? People are gassing her up, but she's got doubts in her mind. Listen, if you really do believe you can beat male fighters, right? Absolutely, and furrowing your brow to make us think that you really believe this stuff? No. Got to be a little more sure than that.
two-time Olympic gold medalist.
Okay, being a two-time Olympic gold medalist in women's boxing does not mean that you can fight against men. That doesn't mean that you can beat male fighters.
Undisputed champion. I think people get it kind of. They always say, "Oh, you know, one man can't beat a man." I spar with men.
Okay, sweetheart. Sparring with men and fighting men are two different things.
And I mean, I drop men. I bust men nose.
No, you don't, sweetie. See, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. You want to know how they get pit bulls to want to fight? Okay? They get what's called, I forget what the dog is called, and this is very sad, but this is true, is they allow the pit bull to chew on a defenseless dog. Get their confidence up. That way, when they're in the ring, they have that confidence. They have that drive. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to chew on this dog and nothing's going to happen to me. Of course, that's not really the case. But this is exactly what she's talking about. Well, listen, I spar against men and I fight men. Sweetheart, these guys, you thinking you bust guys' nose and you drop men, sweetie, they're taking dives to get your confidence up, sweetie. Come on. Like, honestly, you're smart enough to know. She has to be smart enough to know and understand this.
Men up all the time. It's weird. Like, if I was to say, like, which is the guy I think I could beat up, I think I could beat up Keith Thurman.
Okay, Keith Thurman is 29-0 with 22 knockouts against men. Are you kidding me? I think I can beat up Keith Thurman, who is undefeated with 22 knockouts against dudes?
Really?
I really do. I think I can beat up Keith Thurman, even though, you know, he's like, oh, you know, he beat Sean Porter. I think I could beat Sean Porter, too.
Oh, really? You think you could beat Sean Porter, too? Sean Porter is 30-2 with 17 knockouts. One such loss came against one Keith Thurman.
You know, skill-wise and just strength-wise. I think that they may be stronger than me, but their boxing abilities isn't like mine.
Are you kidding me? Oh, guys, listen, man. Someone's gassing this bitch up. Like, see, in the beginning, it's funny. In the beginning, she didn't really believe what she said. Yeah, I could beat male fighters. You can see it in her face, but she got a little more confidence in herself now, right? Little more confidence. She's thinking of all that validation that she got from her manager, her training partners, all those guys she dropped, all of her sparring partners she knocked down. And now she thinks she can go, now she thinks she can fight two. Listen, she sat here and literally said, I can beat two guys with a combined record of 59-2 with a combined, 39 knockouts against dudes. And you want to, and she actually believes this by now. She's talking herself into this. In the beginning, she didn't believe it. She is talking herself into she's convincing herself that she really could stand a chance against Keith Thurman and Sean Porter.
Triple G, he's older now, but I can give Triple G a run for his money.
Oh my God. Now she's gone too far. Triple G is 38-1. 34 knockouts. Now you can see her face. She's like, okay, I talk shit about Sean Porter and Keith Thurman, but Triple G, you can see the doubt in her mind. You want to know something? I think this is also a racial thing. Okay? Keith Thurman and Sean Porter are black, right? Notice the trepidation she has when talking about Gennady Golovkin, who is a white guy. This is another problem with black women. They have no respect for black. Oh, yeah, I can beat up on Keith Thurman and Sean Porter, but when it comes to Triple G, 38-1, 34 knockouts, again against men, I can give him a run for his money. It's interesting how certain of herself she was when talking about fighting black men. When it comes to Triple G, little more hesitation. Let's play that back. Let's play that back. Check it out.
They may be stronger than me, but their boxing abilities isn't like mine.
Right. She's talking about two black men. Bitch, what are you talking about? And, dude, boxing is one of the few meritocracies. It doesn't matter what your skin tone is, sweetie. You need to understand that the skin tone doesn't matter. She has no, this again, and I didn't even want to talk about this. This is indicative of the lack of respect that black women have for black men. She actually believes that she can beat up Sean Porter and Keith Thurman. But watch her story change just a little bit when talking about Gennady Golovkin.
Triple G, he's older now, but I can give Triple G a roast.
Look at her. I can give it to her. She's nodding her head. Yeah, she's trying to convince herself she's not quite convinced because Triple G's a white man. She didn't have respect for black men, but I can hang with Triple G.
His money.
Oh, now it's all fun and games, right? See, she issued that serious challenge to Keith Thurman and Sean Porter, right? But now she wants to laugh. Yeah, I can kind of give him a run for his money. Yeah.
Give him a run for his money.
How are you think you can hang in there with honestly? Because this is gonna make me.
You know what? Power for power isn't a question because what is boxing? Boxing is a sweet science.
Okay, yes, sweetie. This is about power. That's why there are weight classes. This is why Mike Tyson never fought Sugar Ray Leonard. This is why George Foreman never fought Roberto Duran. This is why Riddick Bowe never fought Bernard Hopkins. This is why Oscar De La Hoya never fought Michael Moore, and on and on and on.
It's not about strength.
Yes, it is.
You know, it's not about strength because people were saying Christina Hammer was stronger than me. They were saying all these girls were stronger than me, but did you not see the head movement?
Okay, girls may have been stronger than you, but they're girls. Baby girl. Listen, I talked about this yesterday, the difference between male strength and female strength. Physical male strength is deadly. Female physical strength is not. Men can kill other men with their bare hands. Most women can't. Most women cannot kill another woman absent a weapon. Most women can't kill other women with their bare hands. And the few that they could would be smaller, weaker women, children, and infants. Most women cannot do that. Male strength is dangerous. Female strength is not.
That I had during the fight. See the defense, the offense,
Oh, baby girl, listen, man. Head movement isn't going to protect you from the lightning quick hands of Triple G. Defense isn't going to help you against a ferocious body puncher like Keith Thurman. Technique isn't going to help you against the lightning quick Jared Hurd or even the old ass Floyd Mayweather.
Traps, I said. If I was to get in there with a man, I would do a lot more of that. And
oh, Jesus Christ. I'm sure you think this, sweetie. But again, female power is not dangerous against men.
I do have some power. I'm not going to say I'm stronger than them.
I do have power. I'm not going to say of course not. You're a woman. Women can't fight men. Dude, who in the world is gassing this woman up?
The right shot with the right timing. Decide who's really that. It's not by resumes or.
All right. Let me take this off the screen. Okay. This is now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, actually, a little bit of research on this. When it comes to women and men in the same sports arena, guys, it's not close. The Williams sisters got waxed by a couple of guys who are ranked in the 200s. Okay? Got waxed. Listen, according to Wikipedia, I'm just going to read you this. This came from Wikipedia. Another event dubbed Battle of the Sexes took place during the 1998 Australian Open between Karsten Brash and the Williams sisters, Venus and Serena. They had claimed that they could beat any male player ranked outside of the world's top 200. So Brash, then ranked 203, challenged them both. Brash was described by one journalist as a man whose training regimen centered around a pack of cigarettes and more than a couple of bottles of ice-cold lager. The matches took place on court number 12 in Melbourne Park after Brash had finished a round of golf and 2 shandies. With a broken wrist and a badly strained ankle following a bar brawl, he first took on Serena, and after leading 5-0, he beat her 6-1. Venus then walked onto the court, and again, Brash was victorious, this time winning 6-2. Brash said afterwards, 500 and above, no chance. He added that he had played like someone ranked 600 in order to keep the game fun, and that the big difference was that men can chase down shots much easier, but spin on the ball that female players cannot. The Williams sisters then adjusted their claim to beating men outside of the top 350. Guys, women cannot compete athletically against men. Damn sure can't compete against him in the ring. Guys, stuff like this is going to get women hurt, man. This woman truly believes that she can fight men. And because this, listen, this will be the true test. If society really believes that women are equal to men, they're going to put this poor girl in the ring against a professional fighter. And he's going to absolutely destroy her. Guys, this is going to get women hurt. Just like this Tony Harris fiasco, the first woman ever to receive a football scholarship from a college. That was a whole stunt. I'm actually going to talk about that next week. If Tony Harris, the female football player, were to ever play against men on the football field, guys, they would end her. Grown men, physically superior men, get paralyzed, beaten, and broken. These guys are men. What would happen to Tony Harris? Again, let's go through the records again, man. She talked about the fact that she could beat Keith Thurman. 29-0, 22 knockouts against men. Sean Porter, 30-2, 17 knockouts. Triple G, 38-1, 34 knockouts against men. It is beyond me why these women actually they actually believe in their hearts that they can compete with men. I can't believe that women are this stupid. I can't believe that they're this delusional to think that they can actually fight men. I remember the whole Ronda Rousey Floyd Mayweather thing. 77% of people polled on ESPN said, well, Ronda Rousey would win the fight. Really? Would they put money on it? Would they go to Vegas and put money on Ronda Rousey to fight Floyd Mayweather? Of course not. When we return, we will close out the show by talking about the price that both men and women pay for being in a rock-solid red pill relationship. We'll be right back.
Ladies, stop having kids. Listen, if you want to fuck, use condoms. Use birth control. Listen, y'all bitches out here steady getting raw dogged by every nigga you fuck, and then you wonder two things. Why you have 7 kids and why you can't keep a man. Newsflash. Dudes ain't trying to take care of another nigga's kids, y'all. They're not. If you add 1, maybe 2, a dude may stick around, and that's if you're worth it. But y'all bitches out there who have 4, 5, 6 kids, you need to understand nobody out here is trying to deal with that. So if you're a woman who has a kid or 2, get on birth control. Stop using condoms. Or start using Start using condoms. Quit having kids. Being a single mom is not attractive. And speaking of kids, oh my God. Quit giving your kids these fucked up names. Oh my God. Giving your kids some ratchet ass, made up, ghetto ass name isn't unique. It's stupid as fuck and it's selfish as fuck. Not only do you look stupid, you hamstring your kids' job options before they even learn to walk, all because you want to be different. Listen, I used to work for a company way back in the day, back in North Carolina, right there in the RTP, that dealt with kids on Medicaid under the age of 18. So right out the gate, you already know you're going to see some fucked up names from these stupid ass bitches. Jaquantre? Shamanica? What the fuck is that? And listen, your friends telling you those names are oh so cute. Listen, ladies, those bitches are laughing behind your back at your dumb ass. Quit using apostrophes and dashes and symbols and adding numbers and letters to your kids' fucking names. That's some selfish ass shit. You're doing your kid no favors. Seriously, how the fuck can a man take you seriously if you tell him your daughter's name is Cassandra Nisha? Quit giving your kids fucked up names. That shit's not cute. Number 8. Ladies, stop lying about all the white guys who want you. Like enough with that. Listen. Just because some white boy struck up conversation with you once doesn't mean white men are lining up around the block to wife you up. The reason you want us to think white guys want you is because you want the same reaction from us as we're getting from you for fucking with white girls. But because y'all don't understand that sexual attraction isn't symmetrical, okay? You keep telling these lies thinking we believe you. Just stop it already. It doesn't make you attractive. It doesn't make us jealous. It makes you look stupid. Quit that shit. You're making yourselves look bad and it's pathetic. Fuck out of here. Number 9, be submissive. And no, submissiveness in a relationship, ladies, doesn't mean letting him boss you around while you walk around with a black eye looking scared and being fearful of his temper. You know damn well that's not what I'm talking about here. Being submissive simply means putting his needs before your own. In other words, here's a thought: quit being selfish ass bitches. Men like women who take care of them, and that requires a woman to be non-selfish. Quit the selfish shit. Number 10. Stop trying to be the man of the house, ladies. This goes back to the whole feminine thing I talked about off the top. It's called the man of the house for a reason, because it's supposed to be a man. Men aren't attracted to women who act like men. We don't want women who think it's her birthright to be the leader of the relationship. I can hear y'all now. Well, if niggas would actually be a man, I wouldn't have to be. Okay, fair enough. So here's a question. What the fuck you staying with him for in the first place? Listen, y'all want to bitch and moan about how your man won't take charge, but you don't want to leave the relationship. Y'all are happier complaining about your men than taking a few months off to actually find one worth staying with. And when you do, you're trying to compete with him and be the leader because you think following a man is weak. And when he leaves you because he's tired of competing with your stubborn asses, then you want to complain how niggas ain't shit. Rinse and repeat. Fuck out of here with that. Number 11. Quit being entitled. Stop talking about what you deserve when you ain't shit. Ladies, you don't deserve shit. If you're a basic ass bitch with a bunch of kids who's overweight, you can't be out here talking about how you want your man to look like Shamar Moore and make 6 figures with 6-pack abs. If you want a man like that, fucking earn it. Lose the weight, stop with the fake hair, be a feminine woman, and then you can start to raise your standards. It's funny when women of all races ask, well, why do I attract losers? Or why are bum-ass niggas always trying to holler? Maybe it's not them. Maybe it's you, Bone Quisha. Maybe these basic-ass niggas think they can get with you because they can see you're a basic-ass bitch. The day you're no longer a basic-ass bitch is the day basic-ass niggas stop trying to fuck you. You don't deserve shit. Go out and earn it. Number 12.
Ooh, that was some shit, wasn't it? You know, anytime I speak about anytime I talk about black women or hold black people accountable, call out fake ass pro-blacks, I always see a little bit of a dip in my subscribership. I don't give a fuck. Guys, and again, man, race plays a huge role in a lot of different things, man. They really, really do. And I'm not going to be the guy who's going to be... I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear, man. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. That's just all there is to it. Guys, I'm not pro-black. I'm pro-male. I'm pro-man. I'm pro-Y chromosome. I'm going to call it right down the middle. I'm going to call it just like I see it. The color of my skin does not dictate my decisions. And if you think that makes me sell it, then go fuck yourself. I don't give a fuck. I mean, dude, y'all niggas been calling me this shit forever. And all I've done is take that and thrive with it. So I don't need, listen, if you think the reason you're here is to get affirmation, right? Or if you think that I want to be right instead of get it right, you're in the wrong place, man. I don't want to be right. I want to get it right. And listen, I've admitted when I'm wrong at times, right? Anytime I make unflattering comments about black women, black females, anytime I make disparaging comments about ain't shit niggas, always unsubscribe from my channel. Good. I don't want you. Listen, I don't want ain't shit niggas, right? I don't want hood niggas subscribing to my shit. I want black men. I want men, white men. I want men who are looking to improve themselves. Not niggas who want to make everything about race. Yes, race is a huge factor in a lot of different things. That's not my main focus. Big thanks goes out to Coco Bear MMA with the $5 super chat. Says, why didn't they ask her if she can beat Layla Ali, an actual former women's boxing champ? Why do they have to validate their skills against men? Again, I talked about this yesterday, Coco Bear. Women want all the rewards and all of the accolades that come from masculine virtues. See, feminine virtues are looked at as weaknesses by women, right? Well, if you decide to be a housewife, oh my God, that's indentured servitude. If you decide to remain a virgin until you're married, oh my God, you're missing out. If you decide not to get tattoos, if you decide to be a feminine woman and separate yourself from women out there, oh my God, that's a weakness. Women can't admit that you can't admit that you need a man. That makes you weak. No, it makes you a woman. Right? Feminine traits, feminine virtues are frowned upon. Listen, this is why they're always trying to validate their skills against men. Listen, I'm sure the girl is a very skilled boxer, but she can't fight men. If she could, it would be a very, very bad idea. Very bad idea indeed. We all hear people talk about the kind of shit they want, right? Like, we hear this all the time. Women say, I wish I were hot. Right? Guys say, I wish I were rich, ripped with a 12-inch dick, and so on and so forth. Well, the vast majority of people who talk about what they want don't want to pay the price associated with it. The girl wants to be hot, but she doesn't want to watch her diet and work out every day. The guy wants to be rich and ripped, but he doesn't want to exercise financial discipline and lift weights every day. One thing that all people want are great relationships. We all want them, guys. Even watching this right now, or every man watching this right now, regardless of what we know about relationships here in 2019, still want good relationships. Do we want to fuck sluts by the dozen? Sure. But deep down, we all know and understand that a relationship of consequence with one woman is a much better life than going out and chasing ass every night. Myself included. It was great, but this is a better life. Obviously, women want great relationships, but both men and women alike are simply unwilling to pay the price needed to be paid to actually have a good, lasting, healthy relationship. At the first sign of trouble, girls open up their phones, they hit their exes on Facebook. Dudes are just lazy. When his woman acts up, he's like, fuck it, she's not worth it. If she doesn't fall in, she's fucking gone. Then they wonder why relationships are in the shit these days. But there's another reason people don't pay the price, and it's because they don't know the price. It's like walking into a grocery store, picking up a steak, and not seeing a price on it. It's happened to me several times, as a matter of fact. But men and women alike are grossly unaware of what it really takes to build and cultivate a rock-solid relationship. Well, you guys are in luck today because Uncle Donovan is going to break it down for you. I'm going to talk about the male cost and the female cost. And this is real shit, guys. This isn't something I just came up with on the fucking fly. This is based on 25 plus years experience with women. I'm 41 now, and I had my first girlfriend when I was 15. Right? And yes, I learned a little something about women even then. So let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to start with the men. The first price that men have to pay to have good, solid, long-term relationships with women, if that's what you decide to do, red pill awareness, guys. That is the first prerequisite. Listen, we have to train ourselves to be the complete opposite of what we have been trained to do. Now, the red pill does not go down easy. And when we listen, there are stages. There's shock, anger, euphoria, gluttony, addiction, application, and congruency. After you actually digest it and accept it, shit gets hard. Okay? I've talked about the unintended consequences of taking the red pill. It was actually episode number, I think it was 67. That's in the Lost Archives. Okay? One of the unintended consequences, your social circle will shrink. It's going to shrink. Another consequence, you're not going to like women as much. They're not as impressive or mysterious or shiny. The third that I pointed out, the thrill is gone. It's all the same. Hot girls are great, but they're a fucking headache, guys. Living the red pill life ain't all peaches and cream, gentlemen. Right? You're going to go through these issues with your friends and families. You can't speak, and at the work, you can't speak up and talk about red pill truth or you're fired. The list goes on and on. But having red pill awareness and applying it is required for men to have good relationships with women, but it comes at a price. Red pill truth and its application doesn't come free, and it doesn't come easy. There are consequences, gentlemen. There are costs. But if you want the respect and adoration of your woman, which is required for her to love you, this is the price that has got to be paid. The second price that men must pay to be in rock-solid red pill-inspired relationships is keeping your woman in line. Now, a woman in line is a good woman. A trained woman is a happy woman. Now, there are many benefits to having a happy woman. She doesn't disrespect you. She represents you well in public. She makes you a priority. She doesn't engage in behaviors conducive to cheating or infidelity. She takes good care of you. She tends to your sexual needs and all the rest of that. A woman in line is also less of a headache. You don't have to think about her as often, which is a luxury. You can almost take her good behavior for granted, though you shouldn't. A woman in line is a woman who gives you respite and relaxation from the world when you come home or when she comes over to spend time with you. Here's the cost, guys. Keeping your woman in line, guys, it is damn near a full-time job. You can't let anything slide, guys. Yes, you'll mess up every now and again. You're human. But you can't let anything slide, man. You have to maintain dominance. That is not easy. Not even close. You can't show weakness. You can't open up to her, no matter how much she says she wants you to. You must be steadfast in your convictions, right or wrong. You have to maintain a dominant frame. That shit's hard, man. Maintaining frame is difficult. It's a headache, and sometimes you don't feel like doing it. But if you want to maintain your woman's respect and adoration, this is the price you pay. This also requires you to demand access to her phone at all times. Guys, this is not easy to do at first because the world tells women that what she does on her phone is her business. Well, maybe. But if she wants her man to trust her and treat her the way she wants to be treated, this is necessary, and I'm going to get into this a little bit later. This also requires you, keeping your woman in line, requires you to demand her best at all times. Guys, sometimes we can't even bring our A game every day, right? Sometimes demanding your woman's best is difficult, especially when neither one of you feels like trying, but it's necessary. Your woman must know that she is required to give her best at all times. It's not easy. She's going to get pissed off. She's going to yell. She's going to throw fits. That's the price you pay. But when we see a woman who seems to be in line all the time around her boyfriend or husband, you can believe that this is the price he pays. It is very hard to be demanding with your woman. Trust me, I know. But this is the price you pay to keeping your woman in line. Keeping your woman in line also requires you to correct bad behavior. Guys, not easy. Listen, it is not easy to punish your woman when she fucks up, guys. It is not easy to withdraw your attention from her, especially when she's attractive, you're horny, but she was a bitch earlier. You think it's not easy to fuck her that night? But you have to refrain from sex. Otherwise, you reinforce the bad behavior. If she's a bitch to you, don't give her the D. This is not easy to do consistently. Listen, it's easy to reward good behavior, guys. It's easy to take your woman to the beach for a weekend because she made you 5 3-course meals all week long. It's easy to surprise your woman with a nice gift because she's been a great woman to you all month. It's easy to reward her. But it is far from easy to punish bad behavior. Guys, it sucks. Again, she'll throw fits. She's going to cry. She's going to shit test you. Guys, the shit fucking sucks. But if you want to keep your woman in line, this is the price you pay. Tolerating her adverse reactions to your decreasing availability after she gets out of pocket. Remaining absolutely stone-faced when she cries in front of you because you told her the next time you find out that she reactivated her Facebook page behind your back, she was out the door. That shit's not easy. Punishing bad behavior is hard, guys, but this is what's necessary. This is the price you pay to have a woman in line. Women don't just stay in line because they're good women. It doesn't work that way. You have to demand that. You have to keep her in line. This is something you have to proactively do. You can never leave your woman to her own devices. You can never just put her on autopilot. That's the price you pay. The third price that a man must pay to have the respect, love, and adoration of his woman, maintaining your high value, guys. Your woman shows you because you're high value. When your value dwindles, then so does her attraction to you. That's a good thing. This is called hypergamy, helps us keep our edge. I've talked about this before. If a woman's love were really unconditional, men, we would be fucking pathetic. We'd all be fat, we'd be broke, we'd be creatively stagnant, we'd be fucking pathetic lumps of slobs, good for nothing but eating and farting. Your woman chose you because you're in great shape. She chose you because you dress well. She chose you because you're financially responsible. She chose you because your financial house is in order. She chose you because you can fight. You can defend yourself and defend her. She chose you because you have fitness goals. You have financial goals. You have a plan. Women love a man with a plan. They love to see that you are going places. Gentlemen, maintaining high value is hard. It's hard to wake up at 4:30 every morning to lift weights, guys. It's hard to do spin class where you ride a stationary bike while your quads burn and your lungs are about to explode. It's hard to maintain that physical edge. As far as finances go, it is difficult to maintain financial discipline, man. It is not easy to deprive yourself of certain things to keep your financial house in order, guys. I'm financially responsible, guys. You guys know that. You think it's easy for me not to buy video games? You think it's easy for me not to get into gaming when gamings are fucking awesome as fuck? Dude, you think it's easy for me to watch these cool ass commercials with these awesome ass fucking video games and not buy that shit? Do you think it's not easy for me to replace my 4-year-old iPad? Fuck no. Being financially responsible is hard. Depriving yourself of things you want is very difficult, guys. Not buying the latest iPhone or Samsung Galaxy when it drops isn't easy. Exercising financial discipline is difficult, guys, but if you want to maintain your value in terms of financial stability, then this is the price you pay. Your money isn't going to save itself, guys. You have to save it. The ability to take a weekend getaway doesn't just magically appear, gentlemen. You have to make that happen by saving and being financially savvy. Maintaining your high value is very difficult, gentlemen. Keeping your physical edge, maintaining your financial discipline, executing your plans and goals each and every day, maintaining social dominance, building social currency. None of this is easy, but again, if you want your woman to stay attracted to you, if you want your woman to stay in love with you, if you want your woman's consistent respect and adoration, say it again, class, this is the price you pay. Keeping a woman attracted to you doesn't just happen. You have to be proactive to maintain your value. Again, look at any dude with a hot girlfriend. They've been together for a couple years and she's still head over heels for the guy. That's the guy who's paid the price necessary to keep and maintain her attraction. Keep and maintain her love, her adoration. And he'll be the first guy to tell you that it is far from easy. It's worth it. But again, there is a price to be paid. This shit doesn't come for free. Now we're going to talk about the cost for women. Ladies, if you're watching, get your crayons out. Well, I don't give a fuck about the price that women have to pay. Fine. Turn me off. Go fuck yourself. Or the 5 guys you have in your phone. Women expect things to just happen because they're women. They think they deserve the best of everything because they have a set of tits and a vagina. Then, when they're 37, they ask, well, why am I not married? Well, the answer is they didn't pay the price, right? Finding and keeping a man of value requires effort. Girls don't understand this. I can get any man I want. No, you can't. You can't get a man of value, right? Well, why do I need to listen to this? I can get a man anytime I want. Okay, I'm sure you can, right? But none of those men are men of value. None of those men are the men that you respect and love. Girls expect high-value men to just flock to them because they're women. They expect them to stick around even though she still maintains friendships with all of her exes. They expect them to love her unconditionally even though she's gaining weight. They expect men of value to tolerate their bad behavior and keep them around regardless of how they act. When they have this rude awakening in their late 30s, they get bitter and they blame everyone but themselves. Ladies, if you're watching, here is the price you need to pay to make a man of value want to keep you around. Number 1, you got to keep in shape. Looks are important to us, guys. It is the most important thing. Oh my God, Donovan, you're shallow. Listen, call it whatever you want. That's called being a man. I don't give a fuck how accomplished you are. I don't give a fuck about your personality. If you are fat, we're not interested. Call us shallow. Insult us all you want. That's not going to change our motivations, ladies. Men of value don't want fat girls, period. You want a man who can't keep his hands off you? Stop eating junk food. Stop eating pizza and ice cream at 2 in the morning. You want a man who wants to fuck you all the time? Hit the gym 5 days a week. You want a man who wants to show you off? Make better food choices. Keeping the physical attraction, the sexual attraction of a man of value has a price. It don't come free, ladies. So if you want attractive men to find you attractive, there is a cost. If you don't pay the price, attractive men will not find you attractive. This is simple math. Number 2, be trustworthy. Ooh, this is a big one. This is a big one. Simply put, men of value don't commit to sluts, guys. Men of value don't commit to women who keep their phone under lock and key. You want a man to trust you? There's a price to be paid. And that price is giving him access to your phone at all times. You want to maintain the trust of an attractive man? Tell him who you're texting when he asks and don't give him a fucking attitude about it. If you want his commitment, he's got a right to know. If you want a man to trust him, tell him where you were, what you were doing, and who you were doing it with before he has to ask you. Men of value simply will not commit to women they have to wonder about. Take the mystery out of it and tell him where you are. Tell him what you're doing and tell him when you'll be done. Now, here's the thing. He's not going to ask you a lot of times because he's got other options. If he has to ask you all the goddamn time, he's going to bounce because you become a headache to deal with. Girls always like to ask, well, where have all the good men gone? You want to know where all the good men are? They're with the girls who are not Facebook and Instagram whores. Men of value are with the girls who have cut off all contact with their exes. Men of value are with the girls who stay the fuck off social media. Men of value are with girls who are upfront about what they're doing, where they are, and who they're doing it with. Men of value are with the girls who have no problem handing them their phones when they ask to see it. Men of value are with girls who aren't at the goddamn club every weekend. Men of value are with girls who don't lie to them. Men of value are with girls who have earned their trust. If you want attractive men to trust you, there is a price to be paid. If you're not willing to pay that price, that's fine. Most girls aren't. But don't come crying to me when you're 39 and single talking about where have all the good men gone. Don't bitch about not getting something of value for free because at the end of the day, you didn't want it bad enough. Because if you did, you would have understood the cost and paid the price. The third cost for ladies to be in a relationship with a man of value, put his needs before his. Don't be fucking selfish. Girls get everything. You guys get everything. Quit making it all about you. Well, what can he do for me? Ladies, you already have the world at your feet. Do right by him. You take care of him and he'll take care of you. This is how we are. Why doesn't he take care of me? Because you don't take care of him. Well, he should do it first. No, baby girl, that's where you're wrong. You should do it first because you're the one who needs his commitment. He doesn't need yours. Your commitment is a luxury to him. His commitment to you is a necessity for you. Pay the price that needs to be paid, and you have a chance at his commitment. Ladies, you can't expect good relationships to just happen out of the blue. Yes, we as men, we need to step up our game. That's why this show exists. I teach men how to hold themselves accountable to a higher standard. I teach men how to become better with women. I teach men how to be men. But y'all need to do the same thing and understand that being a good woman is just one thing. But staying a quality female and maintaining that quality takes work. This means not going out drinking with your friends. This means getting up at 5 a.m. to squat to keep your ass, legs, and stomach tight. This means giving up all autonomy. Good relationships cost, ladies. The problem is you're not willing to pay the price, but then you still want the good relationship. You want the great body without having to give up junk food and work out every day. You want the trust without having to proactively earn it. You want to be treated like a lady without being required to act like one. You cannot have it both ways, and you will not have it both ways. If you are not willing to pay the price and do what's necessary to be in a good relationship with a man of value, cool. Keep having fun and let the good times roll. But don't be surprised that you're still unmarried and childless at 39 years old. Hell of a show today. Shout out to Steve the Dean. Shout out to Jimmy. And also a shout out, I forgot to shout him out earlier, Alberto M. Alberto M., who submitted the story about Clarissa Shields, who thinks she can beat men. Alberto M. and Jimmy, I appreciate the content. Also, shout out to Outcast Drews, with the video that he submitted with Judge Joe Brown. Listen, it didn't move the needle for me, but you did it. You did it in a respectful way, and I can respect that. Next time, just give me a call. I don't want to hear what other people have to say about your position. I want to hear what you have to say about your position. That's all there is to it. That's going to do it for this edition of TSR Live. Thanks for watching. Shout out to Coco Bear MMA and everyone else who watched this stream. Go to patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe for more exclusive content. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.